The name Jezebel has become synonymous with manipulative, controlling, and immoral behavior. The origins of this reputation trace back to the Jezebel of the Old Testament. Her story, scattered throughout the Book of Kings, paints a vivid picture of a cunning and ruthless queen who manipulated her husband, King Ahab, and sought to eradicate the worship of the God of Israel, Jehovah, in favor of her god, Baal. Jezebel's arrival in Israel. Jezebel was the daughter of Ethbaal, the king of the Phoenicians, a seafaring people who lived near the Israelites. Her marriage to King Ahab of the northern kingdom of Israel was likely arranged to forge a political alliance, strengthening ties between their kingdoms through shared resources and mutual security. However, the Bible does not elaborate on the personal dynamics of their relationship. The Israelites were devoted to the worship of Yahweh, the one true God. In contrast, the Phoenicians worshipped multiple deities, whom the Bible refers to as pagan gods. Chief among these was Baal, the god of fertility and agriculture. Jezebel's marriage to Ahab brought her gods into Israel, and with her influence, Ahab built a sanctuary for Baal in Samaria and began to worship him. 1 Kings 16 verses 31 to 33. Jezebel's influence over Ahab. Jezebel's strong-willed nature and her devotion to Baal made her a controversial figure. Her refusal to conform to Israel's monotheistic faith demonstrated her determination and defiance of societal expectations, particularly in a patriarchal society where men were dominant. Jezebel's manipulative nature became evident as she encouraged Ahab to turn away from Jehovah and fully embrace Baal worship. Her influence went beyond persuasion. She actively sought to suppress the worship of Jehovah by ordering the slaughter of his prophets. 1 Kings 18 verse 4. This act of violence highlighted her unyielding commitment to promoting Baal and eliminating any opposition to her agenda. The confrontation on Mount Carmel. During Jezebel's reign, Israel was divided between worshippers of Baal and followers of Jehovah. This religious conflict prompted Elijah, a prophet of God, to challenge the prophets of Baal to a contest on Mount Carmel. 1 Kings 18 verses 19 to 39. The challenge was simple. Both Elijah and the prophets of Baal would prepare a sacrifice and call upon their respective gods to light the altar. The god who answered with fire would be declared the true God. The prophets of Baal cried out and performed rituals all day, even resorting to self-harm, but Baal did not respond. Elijah then prayed to Jehovah, and God sent fire from heaven, consuming the sacrifice, the altar, and even the water surrounding it. The people of Israel, witnessing this miraculous display of power, fell to the ground and proclaimed, "The Lord, He is God." 1 Kings 18 verse 39. Following this victory, Elijah ordered the execution of the prophets of Baal. 1 Kings 18 verse 40. This event marked a turning point in Jezebel's rule, as it challenged her authority and the dominance of Baal worship in Israel. Jezebel's retaliation. Enraged by the slaughter of Baal's prophets, Jezebel vowed to kill Elijah. 1 Kings 19 verse 2. Her threat forced Elijah to flee into the wilderness, where he struggled with fear and doubt despite God's assurances of protection. Jezebel's determination to seek revenge underscored her unrelenting nature and the extent of her influence. The story of Naboth's vineyard. One of the most infamous episodes in Jezebel's life involved Naboth's vineyard. King Ahab desired a vineyard owned by Naboth, who refused to sell it because it was a family inheritance given by God. 1 Kings 21 verses 1 to 3. Ahab sulked and refused to eat, prompting Jezebel to take matters into her own hands. Jezebel orchestrated a scheme to falsely accuse Naboth of blasphemy and treason. She arranged for false witnesses to testify against him, leading to his execution by stoning. With Naboth dead, Jezebel seized the vineyard and presented it to Ahab. 1 Kings 21 verses 7 to 16. This act of cruelty and deception revealed her willingness to abuse her power and authority to achieve her goals. Elijah's prophecy. In response to Jezebel's actions, God sent Elijah to deliver a prophecy against Ahab and his household. Elijah declared that Ahab's blood would be licked up by dogs in the same place where Naboth was killed, and that Jezebel would also die a gruesome death, her body devoured by dogs. 1 Kings 21 verses 19 to 23. Ahab showed remorse for his sins, and God postponed the full execution of judgment until after his death. However, the prophecy against Jezebel remained unchanged. Jezebel's downfall. After Ahab's death in battle, their son Joram became king. During his reign, a military commander named Jehu, anointed by God through the prophet Elisha, was tasked with destroying Ahab's dynasty. Jehu killed Joram and turned his attention to Jezebel. 2 Kings 9 verses 1 to 26. When Jehu arrived at Jezebel's palace, she confronted him from a window, adorned in her finest attire. Some interpret this as a final act of defiance, while others suggest she attempted to seduce Jehu. Regardless of her intent, Jehu ordered her eunuchs to throw her out of the window. Jezebel fell to her death, her blood splattering the walls, and her body was trampled by horses. 2 Kings 9 verses 30 to 33. When Jehu later ordered her burial, only her skull, hands, and feet were found, as dogs had consumed the rest of her body. This gruesome end fulfilled Elijah's prophecy. 2 Kings 9 verses 34 to 37. Reflection on Jezebel's legacy. Jezebel's story is a complex tale of power, manipulation, and defiance. While she is often portrayed as a villain, her determination and resilience also stand out. Her story serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of idolatry, unchecked ambition, and the abuse of power. Jezebel's legacy extends beyond the Bible, as her name has become a cultural reference for immorality and manipulation. However, her story also invites deeper reflection on the dynamics of power, faith, and the consequences of turning away from God. Biblical references. 1 Kings 16 verses 31 to 33. Jezebel introduces Baal worship in Israel. 1 Kings 18 verse 4. Jezebel kills Jehovah's prophets. 1 Kings 18 verses 19 to 39. Elijah's challenge on Mount Carmel. 1 Kings 19 verse 2. Jezebel vows to kill Elijah. 1 Kings 21 verses 1 to 16. Jezebel orchestrates Naboth's murder. 1 Kings 21 verses 19 to 23. Elijah's prophecy against Ahab and Jezebel. 2 Kings 9 verses 1 to 37. Jezebel's death and the fulfillment of prophecy.
If you found this video enjoyable, please consider liking and sharing it. Additionally, subscribing to this channel will ensure that you receive more updates in the future. Thank you.